played the boxing game. And what this speaks to, and this is a boxing show, boxing is fundamentally exploitative. I get this as a fan. It's a guilty pleasure. I get it, right? And usually it's fans and networks exploiting fighters, right? We say, we want to see you in blood and guts fights, which risks their health for the rest of their life to entertain us. But here's what's crazy to me about a fight like that. And I remember, when I'm a little kid, Sugar Ray Leonard wins the gold medal. And then you blink, he's fighting Benitez for the title. Then he's fighting Durant twice. Then he's fighting Hearns. It didn't take 100 years to make the fight. But what's wild about something like this is a real super fight. And I said this on the broadcast for Crawford and Canelo. Can't be promoted into existence. Right. What a real super fight is, the dust settles in an era, and there are two dudes left standing. There's Ali, there's Frazier, there's Leonard, there's Hagler, there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao. That's a super fight, right? There's Crawford, there's Canelo. Those are two big fighters of the era. This type of fight, this could easily be at the end of an era, because Teo might be a dude left standing and Shakur could be the dude left standing, right?
I agree. Training to do something to not just beat Shakur, but to beat him in grand fashion. When I say grand fashion, I mean going for the knockout.
Well, I think that the whole thing is the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going.
We have going for us when a person underestimates you. That's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
Max Kellerman sees this matchup as far from straightforward, labeling it a risky challenge for Shakur Stevenson and a true test of high-level boxing ability. Under the right circumstances.
Aesthetically pleasing fight. We've seen the way Teo goes against some of these boxers. We've seen Shakur in some bad fights, obviously. Although Shakur looks pretty damn good against Williams Zepeda. Teo's not a pressure guy. He likes to counter punch. Two counter punchers, really.
Yes, it is not but there are some fights, guys. I think about Pernell Whitaker and Buddy McGirt, or Sugar Ray Leonard and Wilfred Benitez. I love the high-speed chess match. Yes. Not every fight has to be rock'em sock'em robots, right? That is, I agree with you. Aesthetically, there could be problems because someone has to take the lead, and they're both counterpunchers. But Chris, Teo has some angles with his feet that might bother a guy like Shakur.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He has great angles with the feet. He moves greater in the ring. And combination fighter, to me, combinations is the best.
Teofimo Lopez, however, remains unwavering in his confidence, stating that when they finally share the ring, Stevenson will experience
number one, my mandatory, and he didn't. He was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Hey, Doug, you hear that? He said the Bible of boxing. What else is called the Bible of boxing? It's Ring Magazine. And he's a two-division Ring Magazine champ.
Great ambassador for those championship belts as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm very big on those things. I claimed 2 weight divisions, 2 Ring Magazine belts.
According to Shakur's coach, Jack, the team maintained their usual training foundation, but made important tactical tweaks to better prepare Stevenson, ensuring he enters the fight more precise, disciplined.
Trying a few new little things, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's basically the same thing we've been doing. We changed the strategy, but no camp is never exactly the same. So yeah, it's just like always. We may try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's mainly the same things. One of the best things we have going for us when a person underestimates you. That's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
Kellerman also emphasized that while Shakur's power deserves respect, Teofimo carries serious weapons of his own. Lopez's physical strength, foot movement, and ring mobility create real problems, highlighting his toughness and ability to perform under pressure.
And the thing I like about Teo's style, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's going to hug you, he can box, the easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right.
Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys. And I think about Buddy McGirt, Meldrick Taylor.
Yes.
Roy, where Meldrick had quick enough feet Where if you were going to come right at Buddy McGirt, he could box you. But Meldrick could give him angles that were more difficult. I think of Roy Jones, James Toney. If you were going to go at James Toney, forget it. His defense is too good. But Roy had the feet to move around James Toney, and maybe Teo has the feet to move around Shakur.
I seriously doubt it, man. Shakur is a whole different type of animal. His ring IQ is up there with the best. He's getting literally, I don't know how many times we've seen two.
Shakur, on the other hand, has spoken openly about the criticism he continues to face, noting that many fans minimize his accomplishments, discredit his opponents, and overlook his
and just kept it moving. I do feel like I am in a situation that when I do make fighters look bad and beat them up, the first thing that they going to run to is, oh, this guy wasn't that good, or this guy is not nobody. They're going to take away from my resume, same way they did with Bud. Just like my last fight. They turned the dude that I was fighting and they say he's a cab driver. But I want to say his fight before he fought me, he fought Nakatani. And no disrespect to Teo. Teo had, a majority decision with Nakatani. Lomachenko, it took him 9 or 10 rounds to get him out of there. That dude got him out of there in 6. So he couldn't be as bad as how they made him seem. But I think I'm just in a lose situation when it comes down to it, because anybody that I fight.
This time around, he's determined to send a clear message and finally silence the skeptics.
They gonna act like I didn't fight nobody. Even with Edwin. Edwin is a great fighter. But after I beat him, they're gonna sit there and say that he wasn't as good as...
Ryan Garcia also shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated Stevenson-Lopez clash. Although Garcia slightly favors Shakur to win, he made it clear that Teofimo should not be underestimated. He pointed to Stevenson's speed, sharp technique, and elite defensive awareness as major advantages, explaining why Shakur presents such a difficult puzzle for fighters in the lightweight division. Still, Garcia acknowledged Lopez's power, grit, and ability to adjust mid-fight, which keeps the outcome far from certain. Garcia added that at this level of boxing, outcomes are often decided by razor-thin margins, timing, spacing, and brief windows of opportunity. Even the fighter viewed as the favorite must remain cautious, because one perfectly timed combination or strategic adjustment can completely alter the fight. In Garcia's eyes, the matchup is a fascinating collision of styles, with Stevenson's technical brilliance facing off against Lopez's offensive flexibility, while he leans toward Shakur.
I would put my money on Shakur, but shit, I won't be surprised if Teofimo surprises us all, for sure. I think I'm underestimating Teofimo a little bit, but I don't think he can make the necessary adjustments to his own style to combat what Shakur does best. But he could definitely prove me wrong, for sure.
Oscar Valdez recently offered his own breakdown, outlining why he believes Teofimo Lopez has a legitimate chance to win. Valdez focused on Lopez's positioning, footwork, and natural counter-punching instincts. He explained that Teofimo's use of his back foot helps him stay balanced, create distance when needed, and capitalize on his reach to land clean counters. This style allows him to absorb shots without taking excessive punishment, a skill refined through years of amateur competition and Olympic-level experience. Valdez admitted that this approach may not always appeal to casual fans, but stressed that it's a vital part of Lopez's skill set. Beating a technician like Shakur Stevenson, he said, requires patience, sharp timing, and intelligent pressure.
First, and Shakur Stevenson, the way he's positioned, the way his back foot's there, and then you see him comfortable, and he's all right. This is my shot, and you throw it. He just rocks back, or he has that back foot, just steps back, and he has a long reach, so he just counter punches you. And that's part of the game. You get hit and not get hit. And Shakur Stevenson does it to the T. He perfected that since he was an amateur and Olympian, silver medalist, and now he's done it as a professional. Maybe not the whole world enjoys it, but the boxing, the pure boxing fan will maybe appreciate that.
I know you tried to do it, and Shakur's undefeated at this point, but like, how do you beat a Shakur Stevenson?
I think how you beat a Shakur Stevenson, if I can go back and do.
Teofimo must wait for the right moments, forcing Stevenson into uncomfortable situations, a strategy that has helped underdogs upset highly skilled opponents throughout boxing history. Valdez believes Lopez's composure, range control, and ability to counter while under fire make him a serious threat. If he applies pressure intelligently while staying defensively responsible, Lopez could put Stevenson's undefeated record in jeopardy. In Valdez's view, this fight is less about raw talent and more about tactical execution, where timing and counters could ultimately decide the outcome. Zach Moses also gave his honest assessment of the matchup, expressing strong confidence that Shakur Stevenson will be in control. He highlighted Stevenson's technical precision, speed, and advanced ring IQ as clear advantages over Lopez. Moses pointed to Shakur's ability to control distance, read opponents, and punish mistakes, making him one of the toughest fighters to overcome in the division. While acknowledging Teofimo's power and determination, Moses believes Stevenson's experience, calm approach, and strategic mindset will allow him to neutralize those threats. He referenced past performances against aggressive opponents to show how consistently Stevenson handles pressure, reinforcing the belief that his style is extremely difficult to crack.